I'd like to say something else about constellations. Normally when I'm doing this in class, I draw things on the board, so I'm going to try that here. We had talked a while back in the previous lecture about Orion, so we have Orion, a constellation right here. Well, this is actually part of a story. Orion's a hunter, and one of the things he likes to hunt are rabbits, and so down here is Lepus the hare. Yeah, I know that's supposed to be a rabbit. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, right. Okay, all right. So, hunts with the dog. So here is Canis Major, the big dog, and Canis Minor, the small dog. Yeah, really small dog, just 2 stars right there. Anyway, one day Orion was walking the forest, and as he was walking the forest, he actually, unfortunately, stepped on a poison scorpion. So there's Scorpius, the scorpion, right here. And Orion is laying here dying, but along comes PHYS, the physician, and he's holding at arm's length a snake, a venomous snake. He distills the venom of the snake here to counter the impact of the scorpion, and cures Orion, who then lives happily ever after. Okay, don't actually try that at home. It just kills you faster. But this is a mythology from ancient Greece, in fact. And the interesting thing is, and of course the names are all Latin, so the Romans borrowed the mythology of the Greeks and gave it all Latin names. But the original story comes from the Greek, and the symbol for a physician is actually a staff with a snake wrapped around it. And it comes from this story that the ancients had. Now, a lot of the ancients did not read and write very much, and so what happened was they would use these constellations to help remember some of these stories that were important to them in the sky. So they'd look in the sky and they see these stars, and they'd pick patterns to represent key parts of the story, and that's kind of how they studied it. There's another one of these stories. That is up here we have Cephas the king. Okay, and that's Cassiopeia the queen, and they've got this daughter here, and she is chained to a rock. That's Andromeda, chained to a rock, and she's about to get eaten by Cetus the sea monster. Okay, well, along comes the hero Perseus, and Perseus is holding at arm's length the head of the Medusa. And so when Cetus sees the head of the Medusa, turns to stone, and Perseus takes Andromeda, and they climb on the back of Pegasus, the winged horse. They fly off and live happily ever after. Okay, really cool story. So cool that back dozens of years ago, Hollywood actually made a movie called Clash of the Titans. Movie had really good acting, but really cheesy stop motion, claymation, special effects. About a dozen years ago, Hollywood remade the movie, in which they had really cool CGI special effects and really cheesy acting. So no win, I guess. Anyway, but again, you have a story and mythology, and the ancients would pick patterns in the sky to represent some of the key stories out of it, some of the key parts of the story. So that's kind of what we get from that. And so thought you might find that interesting as sort of a side note here about constellations. And so back to that later. But just thought that'd be an interesting little side note for you.